it's your girl Raqfamousstar, and I am here to give you the recap vlog on episode 34. Um, alright, so I was looking forward to this episode, because I love the HOH competitions. Those are honestly my favorite part. And the evictions not so much, unless it's someone big going home. Um, but let me know what you guys think. Like, what part of the week, is your favorite part? Mine are definitely HOH competition. Um, like the meat of it, not just the start. I don't care what it really is. Actually, I do care. And then the vetoes, the big vetoes, not just doesn't matter who wins vetoes. So yeah. So beginning of this episode, James and Natalie are in the dark. They don't know who Nicole's target is. They're trying to play dumb, pretend, that not they, but Paul is trying to play dumb, and he's trying to pretend that he doesn't know, even though he's in that four-person alliance with Nikori and Victor. And he knows, and James tells Paul that him and Natalie are voting to keep Meech. Like, he says it to his face. I mean, I think it was obvious anyways, but that's how in the dark that they were. Not that they would switch if they. I don't know. I mean, they might have switched if they would have known earlier. But I think Corey and Nicole, one, didn't say anything because they were scared. And two, I think they didn't say anything because they didn't want people to try to talk them into reasons why maybe that Michelle should stay. They didn't want to be talked into that. So Corey has that $5,000 bribe that he got, I want to say last Sunday. And okay, James is trying to say he'll throw the next HOH competition for the $5,000, and because he feels safe with Natalie and me, he feels like they're staying, and he feels like, oh, I could just throw it and life is good. But that's not really the case with them. Not the case. That's how in the dark James is. Corey and Nicole are not really into it. They were talking about it and they were like, no, why would he throw it? Now. Who throws a competition now? I could see when there was 16 people in the house. Yeah, throw a competition. Throw it. Left and right. Just throw them. Especially if you're not a target. But yeah, so he was considering throwing it. Or he was very serious on throwing it. Nicole and Corey were talking about, well, mainly Nicole. She was thinking that Victor may flip on Paul. And I was just like, do you really think Victor is going to flip on Paul? Paul is all Victor has. He really is. And, Paul tried to save him a few times, and it didn't really work out, and Paul definitely had to, give up on him, but he did, whenever Victor was up on the block, he did, vote to... Whenever Victor was up on the block, he did vote to keep Victor. But I just don't think Victor is smart enough to flip on Paul like Paul did on him game-wise. Paul didn't flip on him vote-wise, but game-wise, Paul definitely flipped on him. The both times that he was evicted. I mean, I think they tried the second time, but, they kind of realized, wasn't going to happen. So Corey and Nicole decide to offer Victor the $5,000 to make sure he votes out Meech. And I was like, that's what he was already going to do. I was just like, this is the stupidest this is the stupidest BB bribe I've ever seen. That's why I kind of wish Paul would have won, because then they could have used it to like, okay, here's $5,000 not to put us up. Here's something. Victor was like totally surprised, blah blah blah. Um, so the house guests are sitting for the eviction, and let's see. Julie told the house guests that there will not be another double eviction, and I was surprised that she told them because they're over there scheming like and just wondering. So I was surprised that that information was bestowed upon them. And she also showed them like this cute little family clip, and the house guys got all showed up. Like they showed Victor's parents, they showed Nicole's parents and brother, they showed Corey's parents and like roommate, Paul's parents, Meech's parents. They showed Natalie's mom, and they also showed James's daughter. Um, and after they went off, like after the video went off, Julie was like, for those who are wondering at home, that was Bailey's mom and Bailey's older brother. And I'm thinking, wait, who was wondering that? I wasn't even thinking that. I was just thinking the girl is a child. They're not going to put her on screen by herself. So they have to put her next to somebody, like an adult. I was not really thinking that that was her mom. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know. I wasn't like, let me research. Let me ponder that. So they also did like a little clip on Victor, his family, and how they're from Puerto Rico, and they live in Slidell, Louisiana. It's like outside of New Orleans. And then like it was a cute little clip. I'm not really going to go into detail about it, but it was like nice. I really do. I'm liking Victor more. I don't want to say like I want him to win. I don't. It's not that I don't want him to win. Okay, I don't want him to win. But so the eviction speeches happen, and Paul's eviction speech. I think they're always funny because he's a great speaker and really good at delivering like lines. And Meech is not a very good like line deliverer. I think that like she knows what she wants to say, but her delivery is off. It just didn't seem well rehearsed, and I was just like, wait, what are you trying to say? It was like Tiffany's speech. The second one she gave, or the first, it was just not good. Like, girl, you need to practice that a few more times. So the votes were, Paul got, the people that voted to evict Paul were Natalie and James, of course. The people that voted to evict Meech were Victor and Corey. So it came down to a tiebreaker vote, and it was Nicole. She voted, obviously she's the HOH. She voted to evict Michelle. And as Michelle was going out, she was kicking and screaming, not literally but figuratively. She was swinging all these lines and all these like. She was not going quietly. Let's just say that. And Julie, in the conversation, she was like, "Wow, you really came out swinging." And Michelle was a better sport about it than I thought she was going to be. I didn't think she'd be like just a crybaby, but I thought she. Actually, no, she was not that good of a sport. She should have just left. But yeah, so Michelle's little speech, blah blah blah. The HOH competition. This kind of competition is the kind of competition that I'm like, okay, the person that wins this deserves to win. It's not like a luck of the draw or like over in 5 minutes or, not just the person who remembered the most, but the person who actually wanted it. Now, if I was playing in this competition, I'd say, F this. I'm not, I hate, like, I like watching these kind of competitions because, okay, so it was called, let me tell you why. So I'm like a active, lazy person, if that makes sense. I really like doing things, but like if it's like too much work or like it's just too taxing on me, I'm not down for it. Incentives don't really motivate me. Like, oh, if you do this, you'll get this. I'm like, nah. Like, I want to do good for me. So maybe that would be the only reason I would try for this competition. But anyways, it's called poached eggs, and they have these little eggs in it. They're in a little box of chicken wire. And it's one of those competitions where they're moving the egg through the wire and up and over around the cage onto a ramp to knock down the three letters to say HOH. And they kind of kicked it up to what they've done before. Normally they have to like move the egg or the ping pong ball or whatever it is up and over something, and they have to get like 10 in a row. But they kind of changed it where it has to hit three letters, and I was like, okay, so the ramp was like this big, right? And then there was HOH. O looked like eventually, it has a good chance of being hit. But the two H's were like off the ramp. I'm going to have to see this, but they were off the ramp. Maybe the ramp was bigger than it looked, or maybe it had some kind of like curve or something, or I don't know. But I was just like, first of all, eggs, when they don't just roll like, they're like, walk, 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 walk. If that makes sense, they're oblong. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to see on Sunday, and I think once again I'm not gonna spoil it for myself because this is my sleepy, lazy weekend. 3 days off. I'm not gonna say 3 days off, like woo. Labor Day weekend. So get to relax a little bit. And I may spoil it for myself, but I'm really going to try not to. But yeah, so this is definitely going to be a long competition. That's the main reason I wouldn't like to do it. It's not something that it's like an annoying competition, if that makes sense. To me, it would be annoying. Now there is a little twist in it where the first 3 house guests or something like that to put their egg in the half bucket will become halves, and everyone else will become have-nots. And during the competition, now I don't know if that was just that chicken clucking sound was just for us. That would have pissed me off. I would have been like, "Get me out of this competition so I can go inside." Can we not go inside during these? Because that chicken clucking is getting on my nerves. Maybe they're just so in the zone and they're not really paying attention to it. I hope so, because listen to that chicken clucking sound for like the minute that they had it on, I was like about to mute the TV. So that wraps it up for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like my vids or what. If this is your first time watching, please subscribe. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think. And I'm sad the season's kind of coming. No, we have like a few more weeks. It's not coming to an end just yet. But sorry, there's like blood on my TV. I don't know. Anyways, but that wraps it up for me. Thanks for watching, and you're welcome. Bye.